All right, guys, so we got to talk about CNN's crying Marxist, Van Jones, who is chiming in on Joe Biden's extremely divisive speech. Now, as you guys know, Van Jones is a frequent guest on CNN, aka the Crying Negro Network. Right? And, you know, sometimes when Van Jones comes on, he says the craziest stuff in the world. Because, again, the guy is a self-admitted Marxist, which, by the way, you know, Democrats are crying about how, well, you guys always call us communists and socialists and Marxists. And I'm like, you have people openly in your party that are socialists and self-described Marxists. You have major figures who have worked for the Obama administration, like Van Jones, who claim to be a Marxist, right? A communist, a socialist. So, again, the claims there actually have some accuracy. I don't think that there's anybody in the Republican Party that's ever openly came out and said, hey, I'm a fascist, right? I think there's a difference there. But regardless, Van Jones is going to chime in on Joe Biden's super divisive speech, and he's actually going to not agree with Joe Biden. He's going to scold Joe Biden for not trying to talk to Trump supporters in a way that presidents should be talking to the people. And Van Jones better be careful. Okay, because we've seen the Democrats who come out here and criticize Biden's speech get hammered from the left. The left absolutely goes crazy. They try to cancel those people, like kind of what happened to Breonna Taylor, the other host here, who made the mistake of essentially trying to criticize Joe Biden by saying that, hey, you know, his speech with the military in the background that was supposed to be apolitical sounds actually like a political speech, okay? And it's wrong to do that. That is what she said. And then she got met with the mob, and then the mob tried to cancel her as they said that she had sold out, okay? And that she is straight up MAGA now, right? Somebody said, you know, CNN's transformation into baby Fox News is officially complete when Breonna Taylor goes MAGA, okay? Yeah, so she's now being accused of supporting fascism, being MAGA, you know, all types of stuff, right? That's how crazy the Democrat Party gets when you come out and you criticize their leader, Joe Biden. Okay, so Van Jones better be careful. But that doesn't stop Van Jones from coming out here and telling the truth, which I want to respond to. But before I get into that, I want to let you guys know, if you like my channel, you want to support my channel, you can check out my new merch, my donkeypox shirts, the disease that's affecting America, or my hashtag no days off / hard work patriotic t-shirts, or my MAGA Hub shirts. There are plenty of cool shirts and merch for you guys to check out at my website, gforemanbcp.com. Get 20% off using discount code gforemanbcp. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this.
Bring in Van Jones to talk about what we saw today. You know, Van, really interesting because we heard from the president today, and I actually want to play just a quick soundbite of something that he said so we can discuss it on the other side.
This new group headed by the former president, the former defeated president, we found ourselves in a situation where we're either going to look forward or look backwards. And it's clear which way he wants to look. It's clear which way the new MAGA Republicans are. They're extreme. And democracy is really at stake.
Yeah. So I want to say something about that. Nobody has articulated what about these so-called MAGA Republicans are extreme, right? Is it extreme to want closed borders, right? Is that extremist, right? You're against illegal immigration. It's been extremists wanting law and order, right? Is that extremism? Free speech, is that extremism? Not being forced to lock down by the government or forced to take a vaccine, is that extremism? Wanting a fair trade, is that extremism? Not wanting to be a part of forever wars anymore, is that extreme? Right? Wanting lower taxes, is that extreme? Again, I'm trying to figure out what policy from the MAGA Republicans is extreme? Because I can tell you a lot of extreme policies from the Democrats, right? Like, for example, you know, being for teachers talking to kids in school about sex, right? That's pretty extreme. In my opinion, that's a very extreme position. Or piling up a massive amount of debt because we have unprecedented spending going on in this country, okay? Trillions of dollars in spending, okay? Money that we don't have. That to me sounds pretty extreme. Again, I have not heard one policy articulated by the left to tell me what about the MAGA Republicans and the MAGA agenda is so extreme.
So that's just part of what he said. But this is my question for you, because last week after his speech on Thursday, you said it was important that he gave the speech, important that he addressed that, but you wanted to hear him call Republicans in, not out. Is he hitting the mark today?
Look, I think he's trying to do something that's difficult. He wants this election, frankly, to be a choice between Trump and himself and not just a referendum on inflation, et cetera. So that's a part of the political strategy here.
Facts. Van Jones hit the nail right on the head. All this is a distraction from the economic issues in this country. It's a distraction from inflation. It's a distraction from open borders. It's a distraction from crime. It's a distraction from all the things and all the key issues that Democrats are losing on, that they are failing on. Okay? So what has happened here, guys, I want you to understand the political strategy going on here. Democrats have spent money funding these so-called threat to democracy, the MAGA Republicans, okay? They funded them in the primaries to beat the establishment Republicans. Then, now that they are facing off against a decent number of MAGA Republicans in the general election, Democrats are turning around and they are ratcheting up the rhetoric against so-called MAGA Republicans in an effort to try to get their base out to vote against these Republicans, along with Joe Biden coming out here and doing the student loan debt forgiveness thing, okay, to try to get the younger people to vote. All this is about the midterms, okay? This is all politics. That's what it is. Unfortunately, Biden has stooped as low as to attack the people to try to get some votes, right? That's how desperate this guy is. This is what this is. It's desperation, right? He's attacking the people. When, again, these people don't believe the things they say because, again, if they actually believe that so-called MAGA Republicans were such a big threat to democracy, they would have spent money funding them, right? They didn't spend money funding any established Republicans to beat MAGA Republicans. If they actually really believed that MAGA Republicans are so bad and, the establishment Republican Party, we don't like them, but they're redeemable, right? They're redeemable. If they really believed that, they would have spent money propping up those candidates to defeat the MAGA Republicans. But they didn't do that. Why? Because at the end of the day, they believe that they can beat MAGA Republicans easier. It's about power. It's about Democrats gaining more power. That's what this is about. It's not about any of the stuff they claim it's about. There's no fight for democracy going on here. It's a fight for Democrat power and control, right? That's what they're actually really fighting for here. That's what it is.
I still think he's missing a big opportunity because if you think that the reason people are going in the Trump direction, these extreme directions, is because these are just bad people, terrible people, dumb people, mean people, you can write them off. But if you're Joe Biden, you got to know it's deeper than that. You've got grief out there. You've got fear out there. And when people are grieving the America they thought they were going to get or the life they thought they were going to have, they can make bad decisions. When people are scared of the future, they're scared of what's happening, they can make bad decisions. And I think that Joe Biden's core empathy, his ability to relate to some of these very voters, is something that he needs to dial back up. I don't think at the end of the day, he's still Joe Biden. He's the only Democrat we have, frankly, that can say to these guys, look, I know you, and you're better than this. I'm not just going to write you off. I'm not going to let you get away with this. I need you on my team.
Well, first and foremost, what Van Jones is trying to imply here is that, Joe Biden is still a conservative Democrat, which, at this point, do we really know that, right? Considering some of the policies that he's pushed, considering the fact that he's given in to the woke left, okay, and the worst of the progressive left, hey, it's hard for me to really say that. Second of all, Van Jones is implying that Trump voters, because of, the economic situation, the things that they vote on, not just because, they're stupid or dumb or whatever, which Van Jones is saying, no, that's not it. That's what Democrats believe, that, Trump voters are just stupid and dumb and blah, blah. Obviously, that's not true. Again, Van Jones is kind of hitting the mark here by saying, they're voting for, economic stuff, right? And he said, sometimes they make bad choices. And I'm like, no, they made a good choice when it comes to voting for Trump, right? Because under Trump, the economy was doing great. Under Biden, we have massive inflation. We're technically in a recession. I think Trump voters actually made the right choice when it came to voting for Trump. And I think America made the wrong choice when it came to voting for Biden because they voted based off their emotions. They voted based off of mean tweets, orange man bad, we don't like the things that Trump says, rather than voting based off their wallets and understanding that, under Trump, we had a great economy, we had strong borders, we had law and order, we were respected on the world stage. America was back, right? America was back under Trump. Now America is an embarrassment under Joe Biden. So again, it's not the Trump voters that are making the wrong decision. It's everybody else that are making the wrong decision. And I think that's what Van Jones is missing here. But what he's trying to get at is that, well, a lot of these Trump voters, okay, voted for Obama, right? Back in 2008 or 2012, a lot of Trump voters voted for Obama. A lot of Trump voters are actually former liberals that decided that, hey, you know what? I'm pro-Trump because of Trump's economic populism. And that is what Joe Biden is missing. That is what he doesn't understand, is that you're literally writing off people who used to vote for Democrats, right? Who used to be Democrats. I'm not saying all Trump voters, but, you know, there's a decent amount of people that got red pilled from Trump. They was like, oh, well, you know, I used to vote Democrat. Now, you know, Trump, you know, changed my mind. Happens all the time. You see it all the time. Again, that you're writing off people who once were a part of your voter base. And that's what Joe Biden is making a strategic miscalculation here. He's making those same people actually hate Democrats now, because Democrats are the party of hate and division. They spew nothing but hate and division, especially towards people in this country that they disagree with politically.
I need you to be a part of rebuilding this country. You need to be a part of a better movement than the one you're in right now. I need you. That is not coming across yet. And it needs to. Even if nobody listens to it and changes their vote, it can change people's hearts. It can change people's perspective of, does the commander-in-chief like me? Does he see me? Or has he already written me off as somebody who's just irredeemable? And I just think Joe Biden has the opportunity to do something what very few leaders could do, which is to disagree but still continue reaching out.
And you know, your friends who are Democrats disagree with you, right? They feel like there's no point to that. They feel like these folks are gone. There's no sort of getting them back. You're saying, no, they're not beyond redemption. Why do you think that? Explain that. Make that case. What do you say to your Democratic friends when they say, Van, that's nuts?
I know people on both sides. We have 4 political parties in this country. We got the mainstream Democrats, the progressive Democrats, the mainstream Republicans, and the MAGA Republicans. I know.
Wow, sounds like Van Jones been listening to my channel, right? How many times have I said that, guys? How many times have I said that? But, you know, what they're talking about here in terms of Trump voters not being irredeemable, I don't like that, because it's not Trump voters. We're not the ones that we should be looking to the rest of society and saying, hey, forgive us. No, it should be Democrats looking to us and saying, hey, can you forgive us? Can you forgive us for the economy? Can you forgive us for the crime crisis? Can you forgive us for the border crisis? Can you forgive us for the things that we're pushing on your kids? Democrats should be the ones that should be looking to be redeemed, right? Trump voters have nothing to say, hey, we should be redeemed over. Because again, under our guy, Trump, the economy was great. We had strong borders. We had law and order. We weren't indoctrinating children left and right, okay? All this stuff got under control under the Democrats and Joe Biden. And that's the problem. So yeah, I don't like the framing of this conversation as if, you know, Trump voters are bad people. They need to come to the Democrat altar and ask for forgiveness, beg for forgiveness. And the Democrats are bad people if they don't allow Trump voters to, you know, be forgiven. No. That's not how it should work. It actually should be the other way around, right? That's actually what it should be, because the Democrats are more out of the mainstream than Trump supporters or MAGA voters, okay? That's the honest to God truth.
I know people in all 4 parties, and all 4 parties are dysfunctional in their own ways. But what's core is that all of them are concerned about where we're going. They all feel that they're not being heard. They're all afraid. And you need the grandpa in chief. You need the grandpa in chief to continue to sit people down. Vote against me, that's fine. What Joe Biden should be saying is, guys, I'm not even asking you guys to become Democrats. I want you to become Republicans again. I want you to actually be true to your best values. You are the party of Lincoln. You are the party of Jack Kemp. I want to work with you. Be your best self. I'll fix my party. I got nuts in my party, but you got to do better in your own party. That kind of conversation from Joe Biden, I think, would shock a lot of people. I think the idea that you only talk to people if you can convince them to vote for you. And if they won't vote with you, you don't care about them. That's not us. That's some new weird stuff in America. It works on Twitter. It doesn't work when you try to run a country.
All right, Van, stand by.
Yeah. So, I think Van Jones better be careful. He better be careful talking like this, right? Because he's going to get labeled a fascist sympathizer. He might be labeled a racist, okay? He might be labeled as MAGA for talking like this. It's happened before in the past. When Van Jones worked with Trump on prison reform, The View came out and they labeled him as like some type of, I don't know, Trump supporter or sexist or something like that, right? Simply for working with Trump, simply for trying to understand the other side. Again, I disagree with Van Jones and his Marxist communist ideologies, okay? But at the same time, I can't help but say that the guy does, on occasion give pretty reasonable takes, especially when he is criticizing the Democrat Party, okay? But I think what Van Jones is missing here is that it's not the Republicans or Trump voters that need to be redeemed. It's actually Democrat Party. And the Democrat Party is not really trying to come together and unify with anybody because they want power and control, right? That is ultimately what they want, okay? They don't want unity, okay? So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.